I was so frustrated because I felt like I was spending so much time and energy on this platform, um, wasting so much time and energy, which is for me the most important resources, my time and my energy. And so I stopped. 5 months ago, I completely stopped. And that's nothing because a few years back, in the time when I became a mom, I stopped for 3 years showing up on social media. I didn't even have the app on my phone. Now I still have it. Um, and I still like other people's posts, but back then I completely let it go because I was focused on building my financial freedom. Back then I was focused on, living in Amsterdam, making the money, starting my family, and investing in my real estate portfolio. And social media just felt like noise. Did I had a life that you could um, broadcast? Yes, I was living the extraordinary life. I even had what's it called? John magazine. It's a Dutch glossy magazine. They interviewed me because after that period, I also decided to, let go of that glamorous lifestyle at the Amsterdam Zuidas, basically the business district. And I became a guide. I started helping people with their life. And that's the only reason why I went back on Instagram very intentionally, to put myself out there and let people know about me and what I do. And that kind of just continued. And I still had those on and off moments of being on there and not being on there. But last year I was like, no, I'm done again. you know, I it was really like I felt like everything that I spent so much time on had like a 24-hour time span. How do you call that? It had like a 24-hour lifeline. And like I didn't spend my time and energy for only a few people to see what I created. For 24 hours, I'm not here to entertain my friends and family either. If they want to have contact with me, they can call me, you know? And so out of that frustration, I just stopped. And I stopped with everything. I didn't do my YouTube podcast. I didn't do anything on TikTok. I completely stopped. And for me, frustration has always been a friend because it's not true. First, I thought frustration was bad, but later on in life, I start to understand it's my friend, it's my guide telling me, Ash, you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, or you're spending your time not wisely or with the wrong things and people. And that was Instagram for me. And so by allowing the frustration to really be felt, I not only stopped, I became silent. And in that silence is when I got a lot of insights. An insight being, hey, um, I love creation. I just don't like it in the short form. I just don't like all the time that's behind it either. And hey, I really do love YouTube. I really feel that I want to go and focus more on that because I have never felt more fulfilled than when I was doing it on YouTube. That's also when I felt that creative energy, and I was like, okay, this is the energy I want to create from. I don't want to do things from a business perspective anymore. I want to create from the creation energy. And then in those months, I made a decision of going full in on YouTube, which meant no freaking noise. I never mentioned my following on Instagram that I was going full in on YouTube. And I did that very intentionally because I didn't want noise. I'm like, I'm gonna basically start from scratch, building a platform, a channel that I think I had 28 followers when I started, and that's from the days that I had my podcast. And I'm like, I'm gonna build from scratch. And the whole reason that I don't want the people that already know me to know about this is because I want that the YouTube followers come to me because they choose to be with me, because they see something come by and then some way, somehow they felt inspired or they felt inclined to not just like a video or listen to a video, but also to follow. And for me, that is what was most important. to really be chosen by the people that choose that, and not, my family members, because they love me, or, people that I randomly met in my life, and feed their curiosity. No, it's like, no, I really was intentional about that. And now I'm over 40 years, I want to say, 40 days of creation. And I felt inspired today to share. It was very in the moment to share to my audience on Instagram, like, hey guys, I've been out of the gram, as you probably could have noticed, right? And I got a lot of messages like, yeah, why? Well, this is why. And they also shared, that they miss me, and I gave them an option to follow me if they want on YouTube. And the reason why now feels ready is because I feel like I last year was in this birthing process of really allowing myself to fully express, to fully do my thing, to fully surrender. And the crazy thing is, I've been doing that with my entire life already. Like, I left relationships, I moved countries, I left jobs. Like, I did big stuff already, always to stay true to myself. Small and big things. And now this was the only part that was I was still holding myself back with my voice, with fully expressing myself, fully showing who I am. And for me, a short form was always too small for me to do that. I think I can do that now better, now that I'm, doing this daily, but I still want to focus on YouTube. Why? Because more is not always better. More, a lot of times, is noise. And I don't have a team to support me. I don't have people that can make shorts for me. And I could use Riverside for that, but I don't even want to waste my time on looking at every clip that they suggest, because they have some kind of AI tool that does that, and then push it out on all these platforms. No, I don't care how easy they make it for me. I just want to focus on this, and I want to keep it simple, and I don't want to have noise, not from people, not from platforms. I just want to fully create. And today I felt, yeah, it's time to share that with my other audience. It's up for them if they want to follow me or not. It's not even why I mentioned it. I basically mentioned, hey, FYI, I'm out. I'm probably going to stay out for a while. And if you want to follow me, then head over to YouTube, because that's the only place I'm going to be for a while. And it's so exquisite to make my own decision, not based on algorithms, not based on other people's successes, not based on what should or should not be done. And maybe if I listen to Gary Vee, it's a missed opportunity, but I just want to do it my way. And call me stubborn or not, but doing it everybody else's way never worked for me. And so in my life, that's why I mentioned that. I already was that way, right? I already did the things that I felt like I needed to do. And now I'm doing it with my self-expression. And because I went full in on YouTube, I got it. I got it to the point where I started with this very simple setup. I'm like, if I'm going to do this daily, then I need one spot so I don't have to overthink it, where I know the lighting is bright, a simple setup. So I have my MacBook, I have a camera from Insta360, and I use the Riverside software, because I already had that anyway, because I had a podcast before I started this. And that's it. And now, 40 plus days in, I noticed, like, I want to do more. I want to have more creativity. It's not even more creativity. I feel like my creativity wants to expand. And it already happened when I, for example, went to Loom the other day and I did a vlog. And I'm like, I need the better gear for that. And it's also one day I had to go to Playa. I'm like, how am I gonna create my content and then go to Playa? I was like, oof, I'm not gonna make it. And then I was like, I don't want to have that problem anymore. I want to be able to create on the get-go. And so I decided to invest in my outdoor studio, is how I call it. I was very intentional about keeping it simple as possible, because I don't like to have too much stuff. I love minimalism. I love simplicity, because when you make it simple and easy, one platform, one format, blah, 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 then you don't have to, it becomes easy to do. It's just like brushing your teeth. But now, because I feel more secure in my creativity, and I notice how I'm doing new things, like having a meditation, now we'll have, the microphone that really can support that. And yeah, it was time to do that, to invest in that. Um, Long story short, this is a response to some of my followers on Instagram of why I stopped. And this is also, yeah, a beautiful message for you guys. If you feel like you need to be everywhere at the same time and it's overwhelming, or you feel like you don't really find your voice on a specific platform, choose one, go all in, see how it goes. I went for Instagram for a long time, and I really did that for my business back then. That's the only reason why I decided to show up on Instagram. And that kind of stopped when I moved to Mexico, and it became more personal content. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of lost its way along the way. And like I said, it didn't feel fulfilling for me. I'm not saying I'm never gonna go back. I might pop in and out, but this is my main platform, guys. And I love YouTube. I love the community. I love the freedom it gives me. I love that it's long form and I really get to express. Um, and yeah, and right now, because I focus, I really feel like there's no noise and I can actually execute. And I think eventually that's more important than being everywhere at the same time. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow in the next episode.